Hey everybody, it's me Jackie from Jackie in the Box. I'm coming at you today with a declutter and organization of my closet pantry. I've showed this before, I know I have, but I don't know if I've showed like everything in it, I can't remember. This is actually a pantry slash closet because when we first moved into this house, it actually belonged to my husband's uncle, and it was strictly just a closet, and we had a huge pantry that was right where our butcher block is now, and we took that out because it made our kitchen look even smaller than it actually is, and it just was like, we just need more space. Plus we really wanted a butcher block. I love it. My husband and his dad actually made the butcher block that I'm like using right now. And when they did that, they also decided that we still needed a pantry and some place to put all of our food. So they went ahead and they made an actual pantry too. Then we went out after they did it, and we got the thing on the side, the plastic white kind of basket thing on the side, and put it in there too for some more extra space because we still had the room. And then on the other side, they just set it up to where there was 2 spaces for hanging, so we still had enough space for putting all of our coats and stuff in. So it's like both, but for the most part, I use it more, I think, for the pantry than for anything else, because half the time we have our coats hanging up right next to the door, because we also have hooks by the door. So I'm not in there and out of there for coats that much, unless I'm like switching stuff out or getting new stuff out and putting stuff in, old and that type of deal. But for the food, I'm definitely in here plenty, so I'm really happy that that's like the first thing that you see. So I've already organized this before and cleaned it out, and I just was like, okay, let's see if I can just make this a little bit better. So I decided to redo it, because I think everybody ends up doing that. You organize it once, then certain things just don't work, so you stick with certain things that do work, and you try to switch up the things that don't work to make it better. So that's what I was kind of doing here today. Plus I really needed to get some cobwebs and stuff that I didn't realize were, in there, and I wanted to wipe down the shelves and get the bottom. Unfortunately, that's also where we put our garbage can, and sometimes my son misses the garbage can. So I wanted to get that kind of cleaned up a little bit better on the floor too. I don't like to put stuff on the floor in the back too often unless I know that we're not going to need it that much, because I kind of tend to forget things are there. But I put extra stuff, like the 2 jugs at the bottom are actually extra maple syrup, and there is actually some I think that's beer that my husband got while he was in Delaware at a friend's, and he bought it because he liked it, and he had bought a bunch of cases because he doesn't go to Delaware that often, and he wasn't sure if they had it around here, so he went ahead and just bought a bunch of cases, and that's like the one of the cases that's still left over yet. So I just tried to clean out the whole thing first. I did some throwing away of stuff, especially stuff that I knew for certain needed to be thrown away. And then some stuff I did kind of a little bit later, but I wanted to make sure to get all of the shelves, dusted and cleaned off and everything off, so I knew kind of what I was dealing with. That's kind of my routine. And that right there was actually a bouquet that I forgot was up at the top. It's been up there since my wedding, and it actually was not my bouquet. My bouquet is still hanging in my window above where my dining table is. That was actually a bridesmaid's bouquet, so when I pulled it down, it actually made a huge mess, and I had to re-vacuum up all of the floor. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. But I was just making sure that I got everything. My daughter was also off to the side, and she was like eating breakfast, so I was trying to keep up with her too while doing this, and trying to like make sure the TV was running when it was supposed to and everything. So you'll see me looking in different directions, and it's because she's over at the table and she's bugging me about stuff that's on the TV. So here I am. I made sure to wipe everything down, and then I was putting stuff back, and you'll see me while I'm doing this. I tended to put stuff, and then I ended up changing my mind like part way through because I didn't like how things were going and it wasn't fitting correctly. But at the end of this, I do show you a complete what I did, where I moved everything and how I moved it. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you are looking for more declutter and stuff like that, I hope to do more of that this year. So I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. right, everyone. This is kind of what I ended up with. Trying not to block the light that's coming from outside so that way you can actually see. I did get rid of like some old stuff, some expired stuff, that sort of thing, but for the most part, up here stuff that we don't use. Like I don't have tea that often, so that's what that is. There's lunch bags for when my son forgets to bring his lunchbox home. That's brown sugar, and that is candy. And because I don't want my kids getting to it, that's why it's on the top shelf. Now down here, I put this because it's a wider shelf, and I put cans, and then I have so much room, and I hate that. I feel like you need to use as much space as possible if you can. So I went ahead and put this on here, and I have extra chocolate chips, and you know, this is like an off-brand of Velveeta, you know, Kroger brand, of course. And then I got my cans mostly on this one, and I put this up here because this is extra right now. And then I've got vegetable oil, chicken stock, extra what do you call it, ranch dressing right there. And then I try to do another shelf back there, so that way, at least, like I said, I try to use as much space as possible. And down here, this is all boxed goods, more or less. Got like crackers, and then rice, and my pancake mix, and then of course I have extra oil. Saves to buy the big one, you know. And then down here, it's mostly pasta. I have extra toaster treats right there. I do, most of the time my kids do eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast, because it's just quick and easy. So I have this here, and it's easy for anybody who needs to get it to get in there and get it, which makes my life easier. This has cereal in it. This is all my husband's snacks. And these are my son's and my daughter's snacks. That used to be separate because I used to put my son's in here and my husband's in here. And it used to be like that because my husband used to have less treats and my son used to have more. And now it's kind of switched. So I switched containers. Of course I have some more pasta. And then in the back is a can of spaghetti sauce. Now over here, I like to keep my kitchen bags like right next to my kitchen, my trash bags right next to my trash, you know. And then I like to keep snacks where my kids can get them as easy as possible. Alright, baby, I'll get you in a second. And then, I don't know, these I like putting here because then I don't have to worry about trying to get in a container like that. They fit in here pretty decently. I mean, they're a little overflowed right now, but you get what I mean. Do the same with my pasta sides and my rice sides. If they're bagged, to try to put them in here. It's just easier. Got all my extra little side things. Breadcrumbs. And then up here, stuff that I don't use as often, like my flour, flaxseed. I can't remember what that is. I'll have to look at it later. But you get what I mean. So I try to put stuff more up top that I don't really use. I'm lucky enough to be tall enough to reach stuff, but some people aren't. So it's easier to put stuff that I don't use or I don't want my kids to get at the top. And then, you know, as my kids grow, it'll be easier because, I don't know, it'll just be easier. I know that. But I like having the stuff for them down towards the bottom. And of course, this is usually where my garbage can goes, but to get in here, it was just easier to take it out and put off to the side. Plus, I used it and filled it up. So I'm going to be throwing it away and putting a new one in. And I try to clean my actual trash can when I do that, like wipe it down inside and out. I don't always do that every time, but I try to do it like a couple times a week because your trash cans can get pretty disgusting, and it's a good thing to clean out as often as possible. But I hope this gives you some sort of motivation. Hopefully it helped you guys want to do your own or want to organize another area in your house, or clean. But hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.